Hey everyone, welcome to Selective Prep Mathematics, test number 10. This is the solutions video for that exam. Alright, so last time I'm going to tell you guys it's important to watch these videos every week because otherwise your math skills won't improve. That's because if you don't know what you're doing wrong, well then you don't know what to fix in the future, and so you're going to keep making the same mistakes in any exam that you're ever going to sit. Okay, so it's important to know what you've done wrong so you can make sure you do it right the next time. All right, quick overview. We're going to start with simultaneous equations, and then we're going to look at one more thing before we start. Simultaneous equations, basically we're solving two or more equations at the same time. So there's two different ways to go about this. Okay, so one is elimination, one is substitution. Elimination is when we eliminate one letter. Okay, so we'll subtract or add the two equations together to try and get rid of one of the terms, one of the letters in each of the equations, and then leaving the other one on its own so we can solve it. Okay. Substitution is when we find the value of one letter in terms of the other letter, just using one of the equations, and then we sub it into the other equation. So we have one equation all in terms of one letter. Okay, so it's pretty hard to understand when I just verbally explain it. So I will do an example with you guys. So if we have a plus 2b equals 10 and 3a plus 5b equals 32, okay, what's a and b? So let's try and use elimination. So when we have elimination, or when we try and use elimination, we need to make sure that there is the same term exists in both equations. So by term, I mean the letter and the coefficient in front of it. So 3a and a are not the same term. 3a and 3a are the same term. So let's try and make 3a in both equations. So I've got one here. So that equation is fine. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 in this equation. So that should give me 3a plus 6b equals 30. Now, my second equation I'm going to write right below. So 3a plus 5b equals 32. Now I'm going to subtract these two equations. So 3a minus 3a equals 0, 6b minus 5b equals b, and then 30 minus 32 equals minus 2. So there you go, I already have a value for b. Now I'm going to sub this back into this equation here, or I could do it here, but the terms here are bigger. So I'm going to substitute it back into the simpler equation. So a plus 2b, so b is equal to minus 2, so a minus 4 equals 10, so move that over, a equals 14. Now let's try with substitution. So I'm just going to use one equation here, so a plus 2b equals 10. So let's find what a is in terms of b. So a, move the 2b over, equals 10 minus 2b. So I'm going to substitute this value of a into this equation here. So 3, and then instead of a, I'm going to write 10 minus 2b plus 5b equals 32. Now expand this, so I get 30 minus 6b plus 5b equals 32. So 30 minus b equals 32. So I move this over here, b equals minus 2. And then if I sub that back into one of the equations, I'm going to get a equals 14. So there you go. Now, when we convert percentages to decimals or fractions or vice versa, any other order, okay, this is what we usually do. So let's say decimals to percentages is what we're going to look at first. So decimals equals a percentage divided by 100. So for example, 0.9 equals 90% divided by 100. Okay, so 0.9 and 90% are the same thing. Okay, so to get from 90% to a decimal, you divide it by 100, and that is your equivalent decimal. Now a fraction. Okay, so a fraction, we said a decimal was a percentage divided by 100. Okay, a fraction is that when it's written out as something divided by something. Okay, now like that that percentage divided by 100. When it's written out like that, okay, then it's a fraction. So 90 over 100, that is your equivalent fraction for 90%. Okay, and then obviously you can simplify it. Okay, so when we convert, okay, let's look at an example for that before we move on actually. So for example, 0.75 is 75% divided by 100%. Okay, I should have a percent sign there. So 75% divided by 100%, which is 75 over 100. So that is your fraction there. Okay, so that's how we go from decimal to percentage to fraction. Okay, and then we can simplify the fraction further. Now, basic arithmetic. So we have strawberries, melted chocolate, serves 20 people, and uses 5.25 kilograms of fresh strawberries. Now, if we want to serve 100 people, we're going to use 5 times that. So 5.25, okay, 5 times 5 is 25, okay, 0.25 times 5 is 1.25. Okay, so add them together, you should get 26.25, so that's E. Now, question 2, melon costs 4 times as much as a watermelon. A melon costs 5 times as much as a lemon. So, melon equals 4W, so 4 watermelon. Now, a melon equals 5L, or 5 lemon. Altogether, they cost $7.25. So, we have a melon, actually. Let's say, okay, so we have a watermelon, which is a quarter of a melon, so 1/4 M. We have a lemon, which is 1/5 of an M, and then we have melon. So let's convert these into decimals, actually. So 0.25, 0.2, and then 1. So 1.45 is what we have. Now, 7.25 divided by 1.45. So 1.45 will go into that. Five times? Sorry, let me just double check that. Yes, so it goes into that 5 times. So 1.45 times 5. So 4 times 5, 2, carry the 2 over. So 7.25. So it goes into that 5 times. Sorry, I just had a bit of a brain fart there. So 7.25. So a melon equals $5. Okay, melon equals $5. So we have 1.45 M equals 7.25. So move that over, divide 7.25 by 1.55, M equals 5. Okay, so if M equals 5, how much is a watermelon? So 5 divided by 4, which is $1.25. All right, Tammy bought a model house kit. Scale is 5 millimeters to 3 meters. So it's 5 millimeters to 3,000 millimeters. So 3 meters is 3,000 millimeters. So it's 1 to 600 if you simplify that ratio, 1 to 600. So the model house is 600 times less than an actual house that size. So if the model house is 0.075 in length, meters in length, what's the actual length? So 0.075 meters. So the actual would be times 600. Or times 6 times 100. Now, 0.075 times 100 is 7.5. So we have 7.5 times 6 to find the actual length of the real house. So we can split that into 7 times 6 plus 0.5 times 6. So that's 42. That's 3. So add them together equals 45. Now, Sam and Tom are twin brothers whose age at present added together is the same as the square of the largest odd single-digit number. So that's 9. So the square of that is 81. Double that is 162. So how old were they 5 years ago? So one of them is 81 years old. Obviously, the other one's 81 as well because they're twins. 5 years ago, they were 76 because you just need to do 81 minus 5. Now, simultaneous equation, Sally has $3.5 or $3.50 worth of coins. She has equal numbers of 20 and 5-cent coins. So let's say you have X number of 20-cent coins and Y number of 5-cent coins. So X is equal to Y. Okay, so you have the same number of coins. Actually, let's just say you have X of both. She has no other types of coins. How many coins does she have altogether? So 20 times X. So we have X number of 20-cent coins, and then 5 times X equals how many cents is $3.50? 350 cents. Okay, so 20X plus 5X equals 350. That's 25X equals 350. Move the 25 over, so X equals 14. So 25 goes into 100 4 times. 25 goes into 300 12 times, which means it goes into 350 14 times. So how many coins does she have altogether? So she has X equals 14. So she has X number of 14 20-cent coins, but also 14 5-cent coins. So she has 14 plus 14, which is 28. Question 6, Elaine's shoes are originally priced at $150. She bought them with a 10% discount. Okay, so 10% discount is $15. subtract that from 150 is $135. So she bought them for $135. She sells them at 115% of the price she bought them for. So she sells them for 15% more than she bought them. So what's 10% of 135? It's 13.5. And then what's 5%? So it's half of that. It's going to be 6.75 equals 5%. Add them together, you get 20.25, and that's how much more she sold them for than she bought them for. So that's her profit. So work out the area of the triangle below. All you have to do is big triangle here minus little triangle. Okay, so the length of this little triangle is 109 minus 32, so 77. So area of big triangle. So let's call it big, and then I draw a triangle there. So that's going to be a half times height times base, or half times base times height. So half times base is 109, and then height is 84. Okay, I'm going to multiply these together. Gives you 109 times 42. Now, area of little triangle equals half times base. So the base here is 77 because it's 109 minus 32. And then times 84. So again, I'm going to multiply these two together. I get 77 times 42. Now, what I need to do is this minus this. So 109 times 42 minus 77 times 42. Now, 42 is common, so I'm going to take it out to the front. I'm going to factorize the 42 out, move it to the front. So that's going to be the same as 42 times 109 minus 77. Okay? Equals, this is equal to, what is that equal to? So that's equal to 32. So all I need to do now is 42 times 32, and that is the area of the triangle we have here. So 42 times 32 is 4, 8, 6, 12. So 4, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 4, 4 centimeters squared. Question 8. So if the length of a side of a certain square, let's say it's x and x, area is A, okay, is increased by 3, then the area is increased by 27 centimeters squared. So x plus 3 equals A plus 27. So let's write that out. X squared, or x times x, equals A. Now, x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals A plus 27. So that's going to be x squared plus, so x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so that's x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals A plus 27. Now, A is equal to x squared, so we can just replace A with x squared. So this x squared here and this x squared here cancel out. Move the 9 over. So 6x equals 18, x equals 3. So here, x equals 3, x equals 3, area equals 9. So this should equal 6, this should equal 6. And then area, does 6 times 6 equal 36? Yes, it does. So that's 27 more than the original area. Now, if the length of the sides of the bigger square is increased by another 3, so we get 9 times 9 equals 81. How many square meters bigger than the original square is this new square? So original area was 9, new area is 81. Okay, so that's 72 meters squared bigger. Okay? All right, question 9, the volume of a cone. All right, this one was a little bit tricky. Well, it's not tricky, but it's a little bit, takes up a little bit of effort. So cylinder has a base circle with radius 7, height of 12. Okay, and then so find the volume of the cylinder and then multiply it by 1/3 or divide it by 3. Okay, should give you the volume of the cone. Now, so the volume of the cylinder equals 7 squared, so pi r squared times pi, which is 3.14, times the height, so 12. Okay, so the volume of the cone equals pi r squared, okay, times height times 1/3, or divided by 3. So 12 times 1/3 is 4. So I've just simplified that to get rid of my fraction. Now, 7 squared times 4. 7 squared times 4 is 196. So 49 times 4 is 196. So let's just do it algebraically here. Let's just do it with a bit of long multiplication. So 4 times 9 is 6, 3. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 is 196. So 49 times 4 is 196. Pi, they said assume is 3.14. We just have to multiply this, unfortunately. Because B and E are really close together, we have to multiply it to get an exact number. So instead of doing 3.14, because it's a little bit of a pain, I'm just going to do it times 314 divided by 100. Okay, so 300 let's try and do this somewhere else. So 314 times 196. All right, so 6 times 4 is 4. 6 times 1 plus 2 is 8. 6 times 3 is 118. So 9 times, oopsies. So let's look at the 9 now. So 9 times 4 is 36. Carry the 3 over. So I'm going to change that 2 into a 3. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. Carry the 1 over. 9 times 3 is 27, plus the 1 is 28. Now, last one is just 1 times 314, so 314. So 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 6 is 14. Carry the 1 over to the top here. 8 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 15. Carry the 1 over. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 8, okay, is 11. Carry the 1 over. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So divide this by 100. Okay, you should get 615.44, which is closest to 615. Okay, so that one was a bit of a pain with the long multiplication, but hopefully that's all that was hard. The actual concept should have been quite easy. Now, Edwin wants to buy new $120 soccer shoes, $45 soccer jersey, and $25 socks for the upcoming season. He receives a discount of 10% for his shoes, so that's $12. So the shoes are now $108. Okay, 0% for his jersey, so his jersey is still $45, and then 50% off for his socks, so that's plus $12.50. Okay, now how much did he pay altogether? So 108 plus 12 is 120 plus 0.5. So $12.50. So remember the 0.5. So that's 120.05. And then add the 45. So that's going to be 165.5. Okay, so that's E. So that one was a bit convoluted. That solutions video was a little bit difficult. Some parts might have been hard to follow over. So try and go back if you didn't understand it, and then look at those parts again. Okay. So the key points from this test though were when you're adding fractions, make sure that they have a lowest common multiple. A lowest common multiple or the same denominator, and also when you're multiplying them, make sure that you divide first and then multiply later. Now, simultaneous equations either use elimination or substitution to find what the unknowns are. All right, that is all for today. I will see you guys in the next video.